Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video. I know that was a little extra, but forgive me. But nah, for real y'all, so thank y'all for joining me again with another video. I am so excited about today's message of encouragement or something that would just challenge you or uplift you or just catapult you into like the right direction, if you will. Okay, so I already know y'all know by the title what we're gonna be talking about, and what we're gonna be talking about today is basically, are you doing what God has told you to do? Are you obeying the word of the Lord for your life? Are you? Because for me, let me just make sure I make this statement to you guys, and I'm gonna try to make this statement in a lot of other videos so that you guys can see the heart of my YouTube channel and you can see the heart of me. So I believe that it's best to walk life with people, like walk life out with people instead of just preaching people through life, So I desire to show you guys a sense of my truth, and to show you where I am now, so that as time progresses and you guys journey with me through the process, you can see what God will do and what he is doing and what he's been doing. And I feel like that will give you guys a greater grand perspective on who God is and how he operates for the most part. But you have to understand that we are all different. So God deals with his children differently. We are all not the same. We are all not at the same level. We all don't feed off the same things. But what I do know is that if you're connected to this video or these types of videos for whatever reason, that what's in me, that's what's in me is pulling on what's in you. And God has a vision for your life. He has a perspective for how he wants you to live your life, and he has a standard for what he requires of all of his children. So with that being said, I'm going back to the message of this video. Are you being obedient to what God told you to do? And this came from a place of me sitting and just wondering, Jazz, are you really doing what God told you to do? And I'm in a place now where I am doing what God told me to do. But let me give you a backstory that will probably encourage you, and I pray that you guys learn from my disobedience. Don't go out and try to make mistakes when you can learn from somebody else's mistakes. But I started this YouTube channel 3 years ago, probably 4 almost. But I started it 3 years ago when I believe the Lord first gave it to me. I was still in college, and I was still in this very stubborn place of not letting go completely of my own will and my own life. I truly desperately desired Christ, but I truly desperately wanted my own life as well. But the heart of my entire journey from that place to now was, if any man desires to follow me, he must deny himself every day and pick up his cross and follow me. You have to deny yourself when you're following Jesus. You can't always operate and do what you want and how you want and when you feel like doing it. That's just not how it works. So for me, I got into a place of being very inconsistent because of how I felt. I felt like I didn't want to make videos because what's the point? Ain't nobody watching them anyways, nobody care about what I have to say. Or, God, you're not popular right now. I love you. We got our thing going on, but they don't care about you. So why are you asking me to do something that in my little finite mind that makes no sense? Why are you doing that? It made no sense to me. But God, he knows all things, he sees all things, and he knows what he's saying when he says it, whether it makes sense to you or not in that moment or ever. So I find myself being disobedient. And what I found out is every other year I come back to making a video. I come back to doing it because I feel like God is like, okay, get back to YouTube. I'm like, but God, I have a problem with how I speak, I'm not very articulate, I don't feel like I know all the words in the world. I don't really know, my word, how a lot of these people portray to know their word. Not saying they don't, because a lot of these people do. And I know a lot. I know enough, and I'm living what I believe. Do I always live it? Have I always lived it? No. Like Paul said, that which I know to do, I don't do. But that I don't want to do, I do. Like, sometimes you just get caught up in seasons like that. But God's grace is so sufficient for us where he's like, okay, I understand you in that place, but come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. That's how he be on me. He be tugging at me. But I eventually came to a place this year because 2000, like, I mean, listen, I don't know when I started these videos, like, I don't remember. I think it was like 3 years ago, but every other year, like I told you, I'm coming back. But then there's a period where I just stop. And one thing that God told me, and I think I mentioned this in my depression video, where God was saying, you are showing my people something about me that is not true. And what you are showing them is that I'm inconsistent. And I'm far from being inconsistent in my children's life. And I'm like, but God, I didn't choose this life. You know, I don't want to really live for you like that. Like, I want to love you and go to church and do what most of the world is doing. They believe in you. They go to church, but they still live their life. They do what they want to do. So why does the standard not apply to them? You know, but God gave me a quick revelation that it does apply to them. But do I force people to do what they don't want to do? No. Do I force you to do what you want to do? Do I force you to do something that you don't want to do? No. That's why you come into a place where you just say, I don't want to do it, and I don't pressure you to do it. But because we have a relationship, but because we have an intimate relationship, I can still speak my truth to you and let you know, this is what I prefer for you. This is what I want you to do. But am I going to force you to do it? No. But what you're going to do is delay what I want to do in you and through you. But because God's timing is so perfect and so on time, and he's so strategic with everything that he does, he still aligns everything to be appointed at a right timing. So even though I've been disobedient and I, obey for just a season, what's the word, how they put it? A little obedience is still disobedience. Like, you doing it halfway, you might as well not do it at all. Because you're still being disobedient. That's like when your mom or your whoever you live with, your guardian tell you to go wash the dishes or go clean the kitchen, and you go do it. But you go clean the dishes, but you didn't rinse them, or you didn't put them up, or you didn't wash the counters, or you didn't do what was necessary to fulfill that very task that it was asking you to do. You were being disobedient. And it could have been because you didn't feel like it. It could have been because it didn't make sense to you. It could have been you was tired. Whatever the reason was, whatever the excuse was, you had a reason why you didn't do it. And that doesn't justify the fact that it needs to be done. Period. So God is saying, you have a calling and a mandate on your life. And I am trusting my people with you. That's why I can't really send many to you, because I don't want so many people to see me in a light of being inconsistent, because that's not who I am. Those that are drawn to you, those that have watched your videos and that have been inspired by you, I've sent them to you, they receive things from you, and they have been encouraged by your videos. But I do know personally that there are people that I've encouraged by a video or by way of how I live my life, or even the way I dress, that I can see that my decisions in a way make them not go full out in their purpose. Because how you live your life and what you decide, you're not just doing it for yourself. You are affecting a whole generation. You are affecting all God's. You're affecting people. What you do and how you do it, you're not just doing it for you. Whether it's a negative thing or a positive thing, whether it's disobedience or obedience, it's affecting people and everybody around you. And I repented and I told God to forgive me, because I don't want to be that person. And I'm in a new season now, literally a new state, everything. And God literally had to get me to a place where I am literally forced to do what he called me to do. Like he's like, you have no choice at this point not to make videos. You have no choice. You have no choice. You have no excuse. You have no reason why you cannot obey what I've been asking you to do for 3 years. See, the thing about God, his word never changes. What he told me 3 years ago, it still applies today. And whether I was inconsistent, whether I don't want to do it, whether I do want to do it or not, his word has remained and stayed consistent throughout. So I'm here. I'm here, back at a place where now I'm like, God, I want to show you now that I'm going to obey you. Like, I want to prove to you that you can trust me. I want to prove to you that you can trust me with souls. I want to prove to you that you can trust me with more responsibility. I want you to know, God, that I am doing this for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the likes, the comments. It's not about any of that. It's about the obedience. It's about what God told me to do. And that's what I have to do. And that's why I'm here, y'all. Like, today, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of other stuff going on, and I didn't really want to do a video, but I'm like, I'm gonna be consistent. I refuse to not, or to never ever be consistent again. Like, I refuse not to be consistent. Like, I will remain consistent from the moment I restart these videos for the rest of my life and everything that I do. That is a prophecy. That is a prophetic word for somebody, and that is also a word for me. I decree it and I declare it over my life, and I decree it and I declare it over your life. That consistency is literally the key. Consistency, discipline, and obedience is the ingredients to success, to an abundant life in Christ, and to just joy. No matter the circumstances, no matter the situation, we have to stay faithful at the task, with the task that is at hand. Amen. Okay, so with that being said, y'all, I just wanted, of course, I got to throw some scripture in there, I got to throw some, Bible in there, because I don't want y'all to think I'm just on here, rumbling or just talking, because I'm not. A lot of things that I talk about are personal experiences, and they're also biblical, and they're also my perspective, you know what I'm saying? And some of the things that I speak of my perspective, I know there's a lot of other people that may agree with me, and there's a lot of people that may not agree with me, but that's not up for debate. That's between them and God, because I am doing what God told me to do in the way that I know how to do it. I'm not doing it perfect, obviously, but I'm doing it because he said do it. He knew I was jacked up. He knew I was inconsistent beforehand. He knew all of that. But he still called me to it because he sees something in me that I didn't see in myself. And now, all of a sudden, years later, I'm starting to see the very thing that he seen when he first called me to do it. So it's like Jonah. Jonah did not want to obey the mission of God that was on his life. Jonah said, nope, no way, call somebody else. I'm not doing it. And for a long time, I thought that Jonah didn't want to do it just because he wanted to live his own life. Like most of us, we just want to do what we want to do. How we live our life and what we do, it makes us feel good. I don't have to give an account for my life. I don't have to clock in. I don't have to tell somebody. I don't have to surrender to anybody. In reality, we all surrender or yield or serve something or somebody. Just put that in there. But Jonah ran. We all know the story. Jonah ran and got in a situation where what his disobedience did, what his disobedience caused a storm on a boat with these people that they didn't ask for that storm. They didn't even know what was going on. But Jonah caused a storm to happen because of his disobedience. And he knew it when it happened. And he asked the people to throw him over into the ocean so that this could pass them by. And he got ate up or swallowed up by a whale. And we all know that he was in the belly of a fish for 3 days, and that him being in that isolated place, he had time to think, because he got to a place of, I'm in disobedience. And even though I don't want to do it, I feel unfulfilled. And that's how I feel. I feel unfulfilled, not serving or not doing what God told me to do. And I fell into a depression because I wasn't in purpose. Not saying that you can't not saying that, depression cannot be effective to you and you're in purpose, but it has no power over you when you are committed to what God has told you to do. So, as we know, Jonah returned back to the very thing that God said, and back to who God is, and back to the place that he left. God didn't move. God didn't change. His word didn't change. Now, you're going to go into a city. I think it was the city of Nineveh. I think it was. Don't come at me if it's wrong, but it was a city. And you go and preach to these people. But what I found out is Jonah didn't want to do it because he felt like God was too good. He didn't want to, and that's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, God, why do you care about people that don't care about you? Like, they don't care. But see, God's love and God's understanding and his ways are so higher than ours that, oh my gosh, it's just overwhelming when you really understand the heart, the mind, and the purpose of God. and why he's in total pursuit after you and me. It's incredible to know why and how. And that's why I love the song Reckless Love, because it's really reckless, guys, how much he loves us. And I hope and pray that through these videos and through my channel that you can become inspired to truly, 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 truly buckle down and build a real, raw, uncoded relationship with Jesus, because he is so worthy. He is so worth it. He is so who you think, whatever perspective of him you think he is, I promise you, he would shift your perspective, whether it's a good perspective or a bad one. He would shift it in a way, if it's good, to make you know that, to make you believe that he's awesome. If you think he's bad, he would show you that he's good. And he will turn that and make you see that he's awesome. Like, he's just that great, you know. That's why I love him. But the moral of this video in this story is to be obedient to what God is calling you to, because his word is never going to change. You're going to be wasting time doing whatever because of how you feel, or because it just don't make sense, or because of what you're going through. When you get back on your feet, when you get that sense of joy, when you get to a place where you want to be, you're going to have to do the same thing he asked you to do from the very beginning. So just stay committed to it. Stay consistent. Do what you have to do to be undistracted. You know, do what he's asking you to do, whether it's to make videos, whether that's to, you know, go and give to a certain family. Go, you know, give your time, you know, to forgive somebody, you know, to let go, forgive yourself. Whatever it is he's asking you to do, commit to it, and you will see the hand of God work in your life like never before. I have countless of testimonies of what God has done in my life and through my life. I'm not where I know I'm going to be, where he's promised that I'm going to be, but I know I'm in a place where I wasn't a year or two ago. So he is faithful, and I want you guys to just stay faithful to him, because he is worth it. Okay? So I love y'all so much. So much. I want you to feel that, okay? So let me just, okay, I love y'all so much. And I want you guys to know that, like, for real. So y'all enjoy y'all weekend, weekday, night, whatever, you know, whenever you watch this video, and be encouraged. Be encouraged by this video, and be encouraged about your future, because it's bright. And Jesus loves you so much. And I will see you guys in my next video. Okay? Bye.